Good morning. I'm Reverend Tress Phillips, and I am turned on here. Whoa! I'm turned on to the message today. This is the Center for Spiritual Living, Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. It's September 12th, 2021 already, and we are going to have a good time today, I'll tell you. First of all, I want to sincerely thank everybody who volunteered and worked at the bingo. Would you like to stand and be acknowledged? They're here, but they don't want to stand, so. And he didn't work at the bingo, he's just walking there, just. He needed to give Reverend Gail a big hug. He loves hugging you, and that's good. It is. Now, we are having a workshop right after the service, well, 12:30, not right after, and it is a decluttering workshop. It's from 12:30 to 2:30, and it's Do You Want to Break Free from Clutter Once and For All? Join the certified essential Feng Shui practitioners Anita and Cheryl for the decluttering challenge. Boy, yeah, that can be a challenge for sure. This free 2-hour workshop will empower you to make lasting changes, and the attendees will receive the 15-minute advanced decluttering guideline. And just as a sidebar, there's going to be sandwiches served right after service as well as the goodies, so that you may, if you want to have a bit of lunch, it's going to be here for you, and then go to the workshop. Now, starting on September 15th, this Wednesday, 6:30 p.m., our Reverend Valentine is going to do a workshop on Free Yourself from Limitations, and this starts September at 6:30, and it's going to go on for 7 weeks. Now, this course will help you learn and release the underlying cause of our deeper issues and limiting beliefs that we may have regarding abundance, relationships, unhealthy feelings, and our own body image. And that sounds like a bunch of stuff that causes people to want to declutter or clutter as well. So, boy, they're just side by side, these two. So if you're interested in coming to free yourself from limitations, call the center here at 403-342-4905 and leave a message. And now our growing spirit circle, our children, I have a word for you. Would anyone like to come up here with Granny Tress? Or Grandma Tress? Whatever you, well, come on up here. Okay, you guys, here's our new adults coming up here. We're here to teach. No, you don't have to go little. Let's show them what you got. March up here, you guys. Okay, and look at those people and show them how good you are. Everyone you see here was your size once, and they were scared probably to go up in front of a bunch of big old adults. But you know what? We love you to bits. Yeah. Okay, enthusiasm is our word. Does anyone know what enthusiasm? Oh, good. And?
Excited.
It does. And anyone else? What means something like excited?
I do, I think.
Okay.
You're
excited? Something special's going to happen and it's coming, and how do you feel?
Like my birthday.
Yay! Yay. And you're excited, and oh, you just had a birthday. Yeah?
I like my birthday.
Yes, you had a birthday. And you liked? Wow. Well, happy birthday to everybody and really good sharing. Thank you so much. And you have a dinosaur, so that's pretty special too. Oh, and you have a dinosaur. Wow. I think it's National Dinosaur Day and nobody told us. Is that right? Today at Red Deer Center for Spiritual Living, it is Children's National Dinosaur Day. So there you go. You changed the world already. Okay. Thank you so much. And I'll read about enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is doing something wholeheartedly with eagerness. It is giving 100%. Being enthusiastic is being excited about something. Exactly what our wise children said. Looking forward to it. It is not something you do, but the way you go about doing it. You can be enthusiastic about going to school, taking out the garbage, or going fishing. Enthusiasm is when you bring cheerfulness to whatever you do and give it your best. And our affirmation is, I jump for joy knowing that God is always with me. Now, will you join me in our opening treatment on our yellow sheets? This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. With this attitude of rejoicing and gratitude, I go about the events of my day with love in my heart and a song on my lips. This day and every day I find ways to celebrate life. All is God, all is good, and so it is. And I also want to remind you that we do have our Science Mind magazine for sale in the back there. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce a guest speaker from the Calgary Church speaking on Transcend. And this is Reverend Lesley McNamara. Welcome, Reverend Lesley.
Good morning. What a great center this is. So Transcend is the topic for today. Good morning. Yes, it's a very good morning. Today's a good day. Today's a good day to welcome the good morning. Today is a new day filled with all the things I like. Today's filled with people, food, traffic, weather, news, and all kinds of information that I get to sort, keep, discard, or let go of. I get to decide. Today is the best kind of day. Today is the day that I get to create my new tomorrows, my new ideas, my new inspirations. Today is the day that I could stay in bed, I could watch TV, or I could do what I did yesterday. I get to choose my most glorious, grandest life, or I can have the hardest, toughest life to live. I get to decide. And I've had experiences with both of those. My intention today is that today is a good day. Today's topic is transcending. And I want to share some ideas about how the compound effect it works in our lives and in this teaching, what our biggest block is towards getting what we say we want, and then creating a life we love through transcending, transformation, and translation. How many here have noticed an improvement in their lives since they've started coming to the center? Raise your right hands. Okay, great. How many are like, are you kidding? Nothing's changed. In fact, it's got worse. Left hands. No? All right. what about those that are one step forward but two step back? Both hands on that one, just surrender, okay? What I like is that we're all here in the right place at the right time. Today, we're going to talk about how we can increase the good in our lives. We live in a world today, it's very prevalent in our world, is the motto is work hard. Work hard, earn money, and retire. That's the Canadian dream. Own a home, have a kid or two, great career, fabulous wealth, right? Exactly, that's what's happening. So I know I had a great idea when I was a kid. I thought I would meet a man, a shining knight in armor, and he would come along and sweep me off my feet and rescue me. I'm not sure what he was going to rescue me from, but I don't know, myself. He was going to free me or something like that. He was going to save me and he was going to love me. And I knew for sure it was his job to make me happy. And I let him know every day. So I did find that night and we started that journey together. But somehow, that didn't satisfy me. I wanted more. So I decided to leave. Pregnant with a toddler on my hip, I embraced single motherhood, living on welfare. Now that was a far cry from living in West Vancouver, driving in a beautiful Audi car. I thought I was doing better living on welfare. But I was in control now, don't you know, and I was going to figure it out. Slow forward. 6 years go by, I find another night. I think I'll try it again. Another house, another chance to find that elusive happiness and satisfaction. Still, I wanted more from him. And it was around that time, oh, wait a minute, I did leave him, and then I went back. Oh, and then I left him, and then I went back. I just, lots of choices. I was just thinking I had a better way of doing things. But honestly, I had no idea what I was looking for. But I was slowly coming to the idea that the happiness I was looking for was not out there in the externals. It was maybe I had to be responsible for it for myself. And that took quite a few years. But I had I'd found the Center for Spiritual Living in Kelowna. At that time, I'd moved from Vancouver up to Kelowna. And I started going there. But honestly, I know some people say, oh, I felt right at home as soon as I walked in. Well, I didn't. I didn't know what the heck they were talking about. Dr. Ken, he was like, well, it was just like a different language, Klingon maybe. So it was like, but I knew that there was one woman that was going there. Her and her husband went every Sunday, and I just wanted to hang out with them, so I would go. And you know what happened? I began to hear some things. And it's interesting because I see you guys have it right here in part of your banner. There is a power for good in the universe, and you can use it. And that was the banner on the stage in Kelowna. And I already had an understanding of God, a God of my understanding, but my challenge was I didn't know how to access that power. And so I was struggling with limiting beliefs. I told you, I thought the husband was going to help me. So I had to have those outside conditions, a house, a car, the picket fence, and those things were supposed to fill me up, and they didn't. And I lived in Vancouver, I thought I had to have the ocean in order to feel okay. That's a pretty big request of the ocean. And where do I live now? No ocean around me, have you noticed? But there is a nice big Bow River. It's just getting smaller. Really, what I was experiencing was the compound effect. The more I tried to control my situation with my limited resources, embracing a poverty consciousness, guess what? I got more of that. It compounded and compounded over a number of years. Excuse me. Anyone heard that expression, this too shall pass? Yeah, that was my mantra. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. Chanting it to myself over and over again. Now, I do believe in the divine spark, that each of us has this divine spark inside of us. And I did want more out of my life. After years of therapy, poverty, and woe is me, I began to decide that I needed to change my story. I began to hear that message about the power of the universe and that I could use it. I had a God in my understanding, and the science of mind teachings just blew my mind. It was like, what? Once I enrolled in classes and started to talk about it and discuss it with my classmates and learn about it and read the teachings and all of that stuff, it was amazing what was happening. So I'd like to explore the compound effect with you, this idea. And this is a lot like the idea of the law of attraction, which is something that Ernest Holmes writes about. We adopt a habit and we continuously do that habit. It could be a good habit, like flossing your teeth every day, or it could be a bad habit, like, okay, I might have done this once or twice, get into Facebook, and then all of a sudden 4 hours later, it's like I should be asleep, it's 3 a.m. and I gotta get up. That's a rabbit hole. So there's this great book I just recently rediscovered. It's called The Compound Effect, and here's a story in there about these 3 guys. They met in school and they got married, they got jobs, and they earn about the same amount of money. Now they're in their 30s, a little bit of that wedding pudge, marriage pudge they have. And one guy hears that if he reduces 125 calories a day from his diet, eventually he will lose weight. And so he decides to do that. So that's guy number 1. Guy number 2, he's like, he doesn't want to do anything. He just does the same thing every day, occasionally complains, nothing changing, nothing changes. And then there's Bob number 3, friend number 3, and he's like, oh man, I'm on my groove. I need a big screen TV. I'm going to add a bar and I'm going to put and he ends up drinking like an extra drink or 2 a week. So nothing drastic, right? Half a cup of cereal less a day, or changing his seltzer to from pop to soda, and nothing changes. 12 months go by, they still look pretty well the same, but 24 months go by. Guy number 1, he's lost 30 pounds. Guy number 2, nothing changed. He wasn't doing anything different. And number 3, he now had put on 30 pounds. So there's like a 60-pound spread between him and guy number 1. So that's the power of a very simple explanation of what happens when we just take an incremental change in our lives. It can be as simple as not eating 1 cup of cereal. And I'm sure we've all experienced that in some way in our lives. We've set a target and done it. One I did years ago was I didn't like getting into an unmade bed, so I made it a habit of making my bed every morning. And it's become such a compulsion now. As soon as I strip the bed on laundry day, I make it right away, because I really don't like getting into an unmade bed at night. So that's a compound effect. It's just become a habit. I don't even think about it. It's second nature. How many of you have created habits using the compound effect, just, incrementally making changes? Like saving money, or learning a new hobby, reading books, drawing, or being active. All of these actions are external actions and yet can be very rewarding for us. And no wonder we get so addicted to the social instant messages on TV and in our media. They appeal to us in a very, very reptilian brain level way. So taking this information and using it, this is like a translational method that we're using. We're taking something and we're translating it and putting it into our lives. And it helps us improve, there's no doubt about it. So what do we mean when I talk about translational, transformational, and then transcendence? So translational is adding that daily routine. And then the transformation happens like that guy, 30 pounds. He didn't even realize it, but he transformed as a result of it. And then transcendence is healing in a nanosecond. That's what I like to say. It's that God jolt. It's that mystical miracle moment or experience that people have, like that mother who sees her kid trapped under the car, rushes over and lifts the car and frees her child. She doesn't think, oh my God, I haven't been to the gym this week, I better not lift that car. She just does it. In the nanosecond, she is transformed to be able to do what she needed to do. And that is transcendence. And more on that in a few minutes. Translational can be hard. There's this concept in our culture right now, hard work. It's rampant. Buy this car and you'll have eternal happiness. You won't be sad anymore. Drink this beer and you'll have a lot of friends. You'll be super popular, right? Or you can eat these foods and have that great body and you'll finally be accepted. These are all external conditions that we have to continually strive to make our lives better. Start a diet, get a second job, find a lover, start running 5 miles a day. What are some other messages that we get? There's a lot all around us in our culture. External, external, external. Those conditions will make us feel better. Now, I told you my experience of doing those things. Where did it get me? Well, poverty. Those are all translational activities. We start those classes, we start the new jobs, we get the new food plan, online dating. Now, don't get me wrong, training ourselves, that's great. There's nothing wrong with it. More contact with your friends is very good. It helps your mental health in ways you don't even know. Drinking more water, great, fills our body up. It's awesome. But what is the underlying problem? It relies on me, my motivation, and my commitment. And what if I haven't lost weight in a week? Oh man, I 30 pounds is still here. So, I might feel a little discouraged. Or what if I come home from work or from my day and I'm tired and I don't want to go for that walk I committed to? It's easy to move past those things. Hey, I know, let's get an inspirational quote to motivate us. Work harder than you think you did yesterday. Well, okay. And here's another one. No matter how hard you work, someone else is working harder than you. And this is the one I love. Don't complain, just work harder. That is not going to get me where I want to go. This type of implementation takes persistence, vigilance, and it can lead to a place of transformation. Absolutely. Remember the compound effect. If we're doing those things, we do get to where we want to go. So the transformational path of improvement and change and betterment, advancing to new states of consciousness, absolutely we want that. The beauty of transformational action is that they do become habits for ourselves. We do get to have experienced that. And learning skills, certainly like riding a bike, skiing, sailing, math, art, writing, all of those things take practice, practice, practice. Again, external actions. And what if we were starting to change our mind about that hard work concept? As Emerson, a New Thought teacher, says, the world belongs to the energetics. It's not about working harder. The world belongs to the energetics. I want you to consider transcendence, being about or independent of the material universe, being beyond the limits of experience and hence the unknowable, the state of excelling or surpassing beyond the usual limits. Now that's what I'm talking about. We call those spiritual experience here in our teaching. However, before I get to transcendence, I just want to talk about the greatest block that we all have. And what is that block that gets in our way of saying what we want? Some people call it our pattern. Some people spend years and years and thousands of dollars going to therapists to talk about it, to ruminate on it, to circle around it, to figure this out. If I only figure this out, I'll be okay. But what happens? Did we not just talk about the compounding effect? The more we talk about it, the more we get of that one thing that's in our way. So it's that thing inside that says, I need more education, I need a certification, I need to lose weight, I need a man, I need a woman, I need a new job. Whatever it is, it's exactly what it is. It's that feeling of not being enough. I'm not enough. And that is the greatest block to all humans. I'm not enough of whatever it is. So what can we do about that? We need to start right where we are. As our great teacher Ernest Holmes states, the pent-up energy of life and the possibility of further human evolution work through man's imagination and his will. The time is now, the place is where we are, and it is done unto us as we believe. The time is now. We don't need anything else to step forward into our new job, our better career, finding new things for ourselves. We need to start where we are, and we need to start now. So how can we do that? I was listening to this podcast recently, and the speaker on there said, okay, let's say you wanted to become a life coach. And he said, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think your skill set is as a life coach? 3, 5, 7? So let's say it's 5. Okay. So if you're a 5, how many people do you think are 1 to 4.9? 10,000, 100,000, 1 million? There's 8 billion people in the world. Of course there's going to be maybe millions that are somewhere between 1 and 1.9. It's up to us to step forward and get that. Now is the time. The place is where we are here, and it is done unto us to I believe. We have to take an action step into doing that, because we will never feel enough until we do something on our own behalf. And that's what is so powerful for us. Now, many times, I know I've heard lots of these stories of sometimes people transcend something in their life, seeming miracles, like that mom lifting up the car. And I've had a number of those experiences, about a dozen, I would say, where it really impacted my life. When I was a teenager, around 14, I started drinking. A lot. So I was a blackout drinker right from the beginning. I never could process alcohol. I wouldn't remember what had happened the night before. Once I started, it was a compulsion. I couldn't stop drinking. I would go, and that went on for like 10 years, and I got married, and it became a problem. I had a booze problem, definitely. Because, it was just getting in my way of drinking. So this problem, I thought I'd take an action. I was so out of control, guess what I decided I'd do? That's right, I'll go on a diet, I'll lose weight. I joined Weight Watchers, and at that time, you could have 4 ounces of wine or 8 ounces of beer twice a week, not on the same day, but how many ounces of beer are there in a bottle? 12, not 8. What are you going to do with the other 4? Pour it out? No, of course I'm going to drink it. So my transcendental experience came when one evening we had gone away for a long weekend. It was Easter weekend in BC, and we'd gone camping. It was a big barbecue going and the bonfire, and had my 4 ounces of wine, the 8 ounces of beer, and the extra 4 ounces, and that was it. The monster opened up, and I drank that campground dry with the help of a drinking partner. Oh man, I was so drunk. I ended up passing out, wake up the next morning, and I'm drenched. Tent didn't keep me dry, and I was lying there in kind of a despairing way. And I said to myself, there has to be another way. And in that moment, this powerful energy just came through my body, through my head, all through my body, all the way. It was like this incredible wash of energy just came through me. And it just was seconds. And in that moment, I knew something had happened to me and that I would never drink again. And 4 days later, I woke up and I had a pack of cigarettes, and there was only one cigarette left in that pack. And I was a committed smoker, man. I smoked faithfully for 10 years, never tried to quit. I have no willpower. I'm weak. I can't quit. I even smoked when I was really sick. I just knew that I loved to smoke. Cigarette, voice inside my head, not my own, says, "That's the last cigarette you're ever going to smoke." Right, sure. You don't know who I am, and I don't know who you are. But I smoked that cigarette, and I haven't had a cigarette since, and that was 38 years ago. Now I'm old. But that was my transcendent moment that began me on my spiritual journey. It all happened inside my mind. It was not an external condition. I didn't have to take an action. I was open. I said there must be a better way. That was my opening to the universe to enter into me, which was already in there anyways. I received the inspiration and I changed. What freedom I experienced. And no hard work, no lack of motivation, no persistence. It just took me willingness, open-mindedness, and honesty to release my limited thinking, my limited habits and actions. I want you to know that we're accessing the infinite resources of a power that creates universes and galaxies and sand and butterflies and caterpillars. It's not my limited resources, my bank account, my job, my salary, where I live, the part of town I'm in. It is more than that, and I begin to rely and become to trust and have faith in that unseen power in the universe. We want to be receptive to these things, to those internal nudges. Hey, turn this way, don't go there, answer that phone, say hi to that person. Those inspirations, hey, call that person. And those desires, we can have those desires and be fulfilled. Dr. Joe Dispenza is a great scientist, and he's doing a ton of work on brain scans. It's very inspiring. He speaks about our habitual thinking patterns and the addiction to our emotions and creating a predictable future, drinking coffee at the same time in the same mug every day, driving the same way. What are you going to get? You're going to get the same thing over and over again. He's taken thousands of brain scans of people in various stages of meditation and showing the power of getting into that meditative state of that infinite potential and implanting new thoughts, new ideas. That's what we're all about here. And, he wants us to free ourselves from our bodies and move into this consciousness. And he's done amazing work in that area. And that's exactly what we do here in our centers. We use spiritual mind treatment. That's our number one go-to tool. And when we open ourselves to do those mind treatments, it's like spirit, ideas, inspirations pour into us. And we've learned how to set our goal, our mental equivalent, and to stand in the truth of knowing that that is ours. And so we use that. And this is the beauty of transcendence. No efforting, no controlling, no externals, no judging. It is not a small feeling at all. Transcendence is lifting the state of one mind into the next state of mind through a nanosecond. Spirit takes the action on our behalf. My task has always been to set out those mental equivalents, to hold the vision for myself, to bring my energies, remember Emerson? Energetics is where the world belongs to those of energetics. If I crave love, I increase the love around me. If I crave money, I move from the state of craving to the state of knowing that money, I am money. I have plenty of money. I have money comes to me in many ways and many forms. We live in an expanding universe. Abundance is the dynamic energy of this passion. There is more than enough of everything. Prosperity is the outward expression of the abundance consciousness, and it's the form of friends, community, of love, of stuff, satisfaction, and eagerness for more. Today we've explored setting the intention, it's a good day. I talked about the belief systems of creating limitations for ourselves, work hard, the good and the bad of the compound effect, recognizing the power of a simple action in our lives. What's the biggest block in all of us? Our not enoughness. And yet, we can transcend that in our own lives. Spirit moving within us, resulting in deep and permanent change. My call to action to you today is to start right where you are. You can't start anywhere else. You have to start here in the now. Spend time daily in the field of infinite possibilities. We did that in our meditation this morning. Open yourself to inspiration, and most importantly, have fun along the way to the life that you've always dreamed of. Thought plus feeling equals results. I'll leave you with this. There shall be no idea of compulsion. We do not have to make the law work. It is its nature to work. In gladness, then, we should make known our desires, and in confidence we should wait upon the perfect law to manifest this through us. And that's from our founder, Ernest Holmes. So I invite you to have fun along the way, enjoy and explore these ideas with your fellow members and your day-to-day lives. It's fantastic, and it's changed my life for sure. Thank you. Namaste. I would just like to close today with a closing treatment for everybody. So I invite you to close your eyes and just breathe in. And here's what I know. There is only one thing, the thing itself, the infinite intelligence, the warm, loving presence of God's Spirit, Creator. That power, that presence, I am one with it, and it is one with me. I live in the heart of Spirit, and Spirit lives in the heart of me. I am one, I'm aligned with this power, this presence, and I know that this power, this infinite universe, is mine to use. And today I claim my birthright of health, of wellness, of happiness, abundance, prosperity. I know the transcendence that I experience as a result of opening myself to all of this ceaseless, endless inspiration, energy, and dynamic flow of Spirit in me, through me, and around me. Anything unlike this, anything that stands in the way of that, my not enoughness is dissolved and released. Anything, poverty, all of those things, anger, all those things, elections, all that stuff is dissolved and released back to the nothingness from where they come. I stand in my truth, I stand in my love, I stand in my passion. I'm eager for more, Spirit. I call you to know the truth for me as I stand here and speak my word on behalf of Center for Spiritual Living Red Deer, and for all those who know and join this community and those they touch each day in this next week. We stand together in a beautiful knowingness of harmony, satisfaction, and a beautiful sense of abundance. I know this and so much more. I release my word to the law, which must act upon it. And knowing this, I let it go, allow it to be so. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lesley. There
Oh,
you
that's
are.
next.
Yay! Wonderful message. As we look around, we see the farmers' fields, we see the crops. And I'm very thankful to those that grow things, those that help in all ways. And we have our own Ernie vegetables here today at the back. I want everybody to give Ernie a thank you. He does a lot of work in growing them. He cleans them off, he brings them, and they're free. That's like free. Now we're talking. No, we're very, very, very fortunate. And it was a great message. And now we will be doing our closing, our prosperity treatment. So if you get your yellow sheets, please repeat with me. All that I am is a gift of God. All that I give is from the divine flow that I receive, use, and let go to nourish and sustain all of creation. In my world of peace, harmony, and prosperity, there is constant supply and constant release. I am one with the divine process, and so it is. And if you wish to give to the center, we do have a basket there. You can also go online and give, or if you're watching us you can give that way as well. And now we have a lunch, and then we are going to have the decluttering workshop. So you're all invited, and there's even sandwiches today. So we're getting an extra bonus. Sandwiches, free vegetables. I mean, how can you get much better? Oh, and beautiful company. There we go. And to me, I think that we have really shared today, and I want you to congratulate yourself for coming here. And thank you. I'm Reverend Tress, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.